so I swear they're trying to drug me.
Yeah.
Can you expand a little bit on that?
I can expand a little bit on it. We know that cheats, right? These people are extremely good at cheating. So they tried it with the gloves first, and they even gave me the wrong gloves in the end as well. It wasn't the gloves that I opted for. They were over gloves. So I wasn't happy, but I thought I can't be making any more commotion, so I'll just take them. So that was the gloves. Then they put 6-inch thick of memory foam all over the ring. Then Peter sussed that out in about 2 seconds. Big arguments. The fight was nearly off and on and off and on. So they had to sort it. And then he had his bandages on and his wraps on before we even come into the changing room. So he had to take them off. The weigh-in, the weight. They said I was 17 stone 8 on the scales when I was 18 stone 4. He had platforms in his boots, all psychological things. Because if you look at the weigh-in, he was the same size as me at the weigh-in. But in reality, he's 6'5" and I'm 6'9". So there's a massive gap, and we saw that when we was in the ring last night. The bigger man was much me, but at the weigh-in when we both stood with our shoes on, he was equally as tall as me. So there was that as well. There was all these little things that they thought might affect fighters in the past, might work against me, but not one of them did. It didn't faze me one bit. 50,000 people didn't faze me 1%. I've got one little saying: if God is with me, who can be against me? Nobody.
So you seriously were worried that they...
And listen, I had good information off of good resources not to touch anything in changing rooms because they might try and drug you. And someone tried to pass me water of all sorts. And unless it was sealed contained from my own baggage, because I had my friend Dave, he brought all the waters over and the drinks from England, there was no chance of me getting drugged. And after the fight, I went home dehydrated before I even touched anything because I'm so frightened of being drug tested and failing the drug test where they give me something. Then I didn't want to take waters or any drinks or any food from anybody.
Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury as he accuses Klitschko of spiking his water or potentially spiking his water. Now, mind you, Klitschko didn't drink any water. Like he said that he went home dehydrated because he didn't want to touch anything. He didn't want to be drugged. And most importantly, he didn't want to pop dirty because something could have some kind of contaminants in it. That's why he didn't trust anyone. He also did not trust the wraps with Klitschko because they were already wrapping the gloves. Okay. The memory foam, that was a thing. The memory foam, the wraps, the gloves themselves, he didn't get the gloves that he wanted. The inswells and made Klitschko look taller, which that's actually mediocre. I've covered this before, but this is the twist that I realized something. This is my theory on the Wilder Fury situation. The more I hear this, and it hit me today I first heard this. This sounds exactly what Deontay Wilder accused Tyson Fury of. Okay. Tyson Fury also, Wilder also pulled that Klitschko memory foam shit also. Coach Asgi already debunked that and showed me what they were trying to do, and they had to take that off. So that might have been a Klitschko tactic, maybe by Shelly Finkel. Okay, so that was some stuff that was going on in that regard. But as far as the spike water, people thought that was so ludicrous. But then here Tyson Fury says it. And the first thing people are going to say is, see, Tyson Fury said it, and he thought people were spiking his water, so it ain't so bad. But understand this. He believed somebody was spiking his water, therefore he didn't take any water. If he would have took any water, like he said, he would have popped dirty. So that debunks that all by itself, because Wilder's supposed to drunk some water by Mark Breland that was supposed to have been tampered with. So if it was tampered with, that means that was supposed to give him some type of lighthead feeling or woozy feeling or feeling not himself type of way. And I think that's where they might have got that from. Okay, so I think Team Wilder, when he was beat, the costume excuse was so fucking ludicrous and laughable that they had to come up with something else. And they kept coming up with something else and kept coming up with something else. But you know, most people are not original. And I think they dubbed this shit from Team Fury. They used what Team Fury was afraid of and tried to use it against them. They tried the floor shit, the canvas memory foam bullshit where he didn't have the bounce that he's supposed to, okay? And I think they made the spike water up because they wanted to get Mark Breland out of there because they're like, you know what? Once not enough. You know, if Deontay Wilder is anything like his supporters, these guys know how to add insult to injury. They know how to overkill because they've tried me the same fucking way. So they know how to lay things on thick and try to convince people that this or the character of this guy is this or the character of this guy is that. But I think Team Wilder was not original. They kept making shit up and they got that water situation. Oh yeah, he spiked my water because Tyson Fury was afraid of his water being spiked. They didn't just come up with that shit. I think they dubbed that. They copied that. They mimicked that off of Team Fury. That's what I believe that happened. The more I talk about, the more I hear about this type of shit, is the more it's like I feel that the whole gimmick was a semi-copycatted way of trying to accuse another fighter of something that fighter accused somebody else of. Again, people are not that original. And I think that's what happened in this situation. I think they really tried the memory foam, and I think they used and they dubbed the Klitschko situation as a way to try to deter or discredit Tyson Fury. Since Tyson Fury, you think about the wild boar meat and the nandrolone and the fucking all that. Remember the farmer and all that, Martin Carefoot and all that shit? They were trying to, in fact, try to add something or make that stick to something else. That's what they were doing. And I think they came up short because Wilder was drinking water on through the fight. Tyson Fury never drank any water. If anything, it clears up the fact that he didn't want to drink any water. Because the first thing they would try to say is, Tyson Fury seen a bottle of water. He saw it and he talked to him. He sent it back because he didn't want to drink anything that wasn't from his camp, that he didn't trust, that he didn't see somebody open or get it out of a machine or whatever himself personally. He didn't want to trust any of it. So this really confirms that he was concerned about that before. That just proves that he doesn't fuck with everybody's water. That's what that means. But I think on the memory foam, yeah, I think that was dubbed from Klitschko, of the Klitschko fight. The gloves, glove gate. Think about it. He couldn't use his own gloves, so they're trying to make a big uproar about his gloves, right? Even though JD's was there and he seen it. The water, Tyson Fury didn't want to drink any water. Oh, but he did. He sent up some water away. Okay, he just shows you he doesn't drink everybody's water. And the Mark Breland situation is just totally, that's the one that's out of the ordinary. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson Fury's comments towards Wladimir Klitschko and the comparison to the Glovegate and Watergate BS. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.